All right, race fans. Well, we are back, and I'm gonna tell you what. Tonight we got Bristol, and this place is about to explode. We got the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice here live under the lights at Bristol, the last great Coliseum. And as always, Joe White up here in the booth, accompanied by Don Runkle. What's up, Don, man?
How you doing, Joe?
Man, I'm doing great. And I tell you, we got a huge field, a small track, and a lot of fireworks. And you know, they always say you put fuel on a fire, what happens? It'll explode. And I think we're going to see maybe some of that tonight.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see some action tonight. You're gonna see old-fashioned Saturday night short track racing on a Monday night.
Absolutely. You know, we've watched a lot of races over the course here with the series. Is watching these guys in practice, just out here trying to excuse me, ooh, I don't want yawning. But I've watched a lot of the practice out here with a lot of these guys, and you know, they're trying to get familiar with this track. We've got close to 40 cars. Looks to be about 30, 39, 38 out here. That's a huge field for such a small track.
Yeah, these guys will get going up to some really fast speeds, but then have to get it way down in the corners. Little short track, tight racing here at Bristol. The high banks, I mean, the preferred line is going to be the high side, but guys are going to try to dive down low. And man, the thing about this track is when a wreck happens, it happens quick, and sometimes there's almost nowhere to go.
Absolutely, and the biggest thing too is coming off the turns, like turn 4 and turn 2. A lot of times that's where we see a lot of the accidents at here on this track, because most notably, if you're up high, which is where the line normally is here, kind of high line. Some guys will try to take that low line, but I really feel like the high line is probably the preferred line here. But when you're coming off there, that car, man, sometimes will sneak up there on the outside of the car, bump the wall, and if somebody's down low, usually you collect them, because it's one of those kind of, you know, goes down the track style tracks.
You pretty much described my night perfectly in the Xfinity race here for Sim500 last night. I did that. I bounced off the wall coming off one of the corners, came down the track, hit somebody else, and hopefully, you know, thankfully I didn't ruin anybody else's night too bad, but I ended my night. But yeah, you can easily overdrive these cars. It can get loose off the corners, and like I said, it's just such a small track. It's such tight conditions. These guys are going to be beating and banging, hitting fenders all night, and you know, when wrecks happen, they happen quick, and it's hard to avoid it.
Absolutely, and it's just one of those things. Just a product of the track, product of the race. What's up? How you doing out there? Not just a product of everything else out there. It's just one of them deals. I mean, it's short track racing Bristol style. You just got to understand it. Patience, which, you know, we talk about that week in and week out. Does these guys have it here tonight? That's the thing.
Well, the thing is, you know, these guys are racing for points tonight. Like, you know, we talked, you know, week in and week out about the tight points battle and these guys trying to stay in the top 16 for the chase. But tonight we have a different kind of battle. We got the Transervice Dash for Cash event tonight, where we got 4 drivers are going to be battling it out for $25.
Yes, we do. That has been going on most of the season here. And I think I said something about the final one here tonight. Ought to be interesting, the 4 drivers, and you know, you talked about it, Malik Ray, Nick Cohan, Eric Arnold, and Mitch Rollo. It has nothing to do with points. It's whoever finishes in front of whoever. Almost kind of like the bracket challenge deal we're doing on the Wednesday night here at Sim500 for the SimSpeedShop.com series. So it's kind of interesting to see those guys. They picked a unique track to do it on.
Well, you know, I mean, like you said, that's kind of a race within a race for those guys. They don't have to win the race. They just have to basically finish the highest out of those 4 to win that $25. And yeah, a very unique track. I mean, these guys are already battling as it is, so they're going to get something else to battle for tonight for that $25.
Absolutely. I need to tell Nick Timms, man, his painter's got his paint set up in a... You normally don't see that paint glitch in the cup cars, but his is showing all black. Yeah, it's showing all black, so that means they've saved it in 32-bit, and it's supposed to be saved at 24-bit. Most painters know what I'm talking about when I say that. I don't know what it is.
I'm not a painter. I have no idea.
Nah, I don't either. It's a form of it. Mostly it's the Xfinity cars more than it does anything. I've seen it a few times in the trucks and a few times in the Cup. But man, it's real bad in the Xfinity cars. For some reason it's it. But there's a whole forum out there about it. So any painters listening, there you go.
They know what you're talking about right there, yeah.
Yeah, because when they were talking about it, and then I was like, what are y'all talking about? But yeah, if I mean, anytime I see a car that's just all solid black, that's usually
that's why, yeah.
That's why it is. And see, what's crazy is some guys can maybe see the paint job, and some can't. And the only way I ever knew about it was I had a painter actually paint me a car, Xfinity car. Nice paint job. Got it out there, and I couldn't see it. It came up black. I was like, man, what? I can't see my car on there. And then several other people were like, yeah, it's showing up black. And then some guys were like, no, I see it. It's a nice paint job. I was so mad, man. I went through like several races. We tried to figure it out, and finally we found the forum. I was out in iRacing Post, a huge thing about it, and we saved it differently and never had a problem since. So kind of informed guys, and that's why I kind of sometimes look through the field, look through some of the paint jobs. But the only way to rectify that is obviously save it like that.
Yeah, definitely. And there looks like they're qualifying right now, right? Qualifying underway.
In the middle of qualifying. So, what do you do? Do you try to get up front here? Do you stay in the back, stay in the middle? I mean, is there really any safe spot here at Bristol?
Well, I mean, if you're one of the guys running for points, if you're like our points leader, Nick Cohan, or maybe even, top 10 in points or whatever, then you're definitely going to qualify. You got to remember, we're going to have 2 pit entrances here basically on at Bristol, because we have pits on the front stretch and on the back stretch. So that's another thing that's important about qualifying, is you want to get a really good pit stall. You really don't want to get a pit stall that's on the back stretch. You'd rather get one on the front stretch, because it kind of sets you back a little bit on your pit stops.
And that's, you brought up a good point. This place here is a nightmare when it comes to pits.
Yeah, it can be. It can be really hard as far as the pits go, getting on and off the pits. You can go a lap down real quick if you get any kind of damage and you have a long pit stop.
Absolutely. So, we'll have to see what these guys, man, can modulate around.
Yeah, that was my issue last night, because I didn't have a very good qualifying run when I was in the Xfinity race here last night, and I ended up having a pit stall on the backstretch, and it's real easy to get turned around. It's such a short track, so quick. It's, sometimes you're like, am I in the front? Am I in the backstretch?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, sometimes you can get turned around a little bit. So I had to keep telling myself last night, okay, remember, enter on the backstretch, enter on the backstretch. And then you also got to be really aware, because sometimes you can get caught on pit road or caught exiting the pits on a closed pit. I know that happened to a teammate of mine last night. Sometimes the pit roads just close really quick, and it's real heads up. Everything at this track happens so fast, even the pit stops.
They do, and that was the biggest thing. Like what you just mentioned right there confused me. Inside of, obviously the way we see it at a view like this, we're thinking, well, how can you get mixed up? I mean, there's a front and a back. Inside that truck, car, whatever, you don't see everything that we see here, and you can get very confused on whether or not you're on the front stretch or back stretch, and then try to figure out how to get in and off pit.
Yeah, you got enough things that are going on as it is. You're listening to your spotter, you're looking at your times, you're figuring out, you're trying to get your car around here, and if you're racing close to other guys, you're not worried about where you are in the track. You're not worried about if you're whether in turn 1 or turn 3. It's the same when you're on the track racing hard. So it's just one more thing to be aware of.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, like I say, middle qualifying, it looks like Jeff Fuller right now is the man on pole. Got about 5 minutes left for you to get your refreshments and all. And speaking of refreshments and all, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to get something to drink. That way I'll be ready, set to go for this battle here at Bristol for the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. Folks, I tell you, qualifying's underway. And if Don, you want to talk to the crowd out there, you can. I'll be
I'll
right
keep
back.
people busy.
Yeah, there you go. I'll be right back. Won't take but a minute or so, folks. Figured, hey, why not? Now's the time to do it. Got 4 minutes, and anybody out there needs to do that. Like I always say, take the dog, cat, and all that out, and tell the gerbil be quiet, quit running on the wheel. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we still got qualifying underway right now, folks. Got Justin Fuller leading the way right now. So the top of the charts with a 14.436. It's probably going to hold. I don't think anybody's going to be knocking him off that spot right there. But quick rundown of what qualifying looks like right now. We got Justin Fuller, like I said, sitting on the pole. Got Tommy Ryan in the 66 on the outside right now. Anthony DeBarro is going to take third so far. Nick Cohan, our points leader, right now is on fourth, looks like, on the grid. Got Scott Simley rounding out the top 5. So I'm sure those times will probably hold up. Qualifying's only got a few minutes left, and most of these guys usually like to try to get it done and over with kind of quick. Got a couple guys in the back that haven't taken a lap yet, but I don't anticipate that they are going to if they haven't yet. We've got a few guys. I'm looking down in the field here. Got Steve Gottschalk starting 21st. He's definitely somebody that's going to be fast tonight. Jonathan Goodell, he's in 16th. I think he's on the inside, trying to stay within the top 16 in the points right now. He didn't have a very good week last week. It knocked him down just a little bit, but I think he's going to stay in the top 15, or top 16, I mean, for the points. Couple other notable drivers. You got Chad Cole. He is our runner-up in the points right now. He's starting 8th. Chad's always very consistent on the track. Kind of sneaks up there at the end. Usually finds a way to knock out a good top 5 or, top 3 finish. He's always very consistent in the points. Starting right there so far in 8th. Looks like Thomas George is going to be lined up behind him. He's also somebody to look out for tonight. Only got a few more minutes left in qualifying. Joe stepped away from the booth for a minute. He'll be back very shortly. And we have also, we're going to have the points being a bonus points being awarded at halfway. Got a 200 lap race. So at the completion of lap 100, the top 10 are going to get bonus points that'll go towards their champion standings at the end of the year. First place at the halfway will get 10 points. Second place will get 9. Third place will get 8 points. And it works its way down all the way to 10th, which is going to get 1 point for their position at halfway. And that goes towards those bonus points for the championship, which, means a lot. Sometimes these points are really tight. So those halfway bonuses can really matter here at the end of the year. We also have those 4 drivers that are going to go for that $25 here. We have Malik Ray, Nick Cohan, Eric Arnold, Mitch Rollo, all going for that Transervice, a Dash for Cash event here on the Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. Great sponsor throughout the whole year. They're putting up that money for this Dash for Cash event. They always do those little extra things for these drivers here. Gives those drivers a little bit more incentive to maybe have a race inside of a race. And got 1 minute left in qualifying here. Justin Fuller so far on the top, and there's Joe.
Yeah, well, hey, Justin's been able to stay back up here, I tell you. It's and yeah, I'll apologize, folks. I got some storms in areas here, and so I see the stream might be doing a little buffering out there, so hopefully it'll clear itself up as the race goes on. And it's like I always say, there's a couple things I can't control. Mother Nature, internet.
That's one of them.
Yeah, that's a big one there. Mother Nature, internet, computer stuff, sometimes you just gotta go with the flow, and we'll see. It should clear itself up here shortly. And as they move out of the area, I think they're moving out now because they're fast type storms. But Don, I tell you, man, as we got a couple seconds here, Bristol. I mean, everybody loves Bristol. Short track racing, big field. Man, got a lot of big, I guess you could say big egos here on a short track. Hopefully we won't see no virtual fighting.
No, I don't think you'll be able to see that tonight. I'm sure all the virtual lives will be safe tonight. But we were talking about those pits, where your pit stall is. I'm looking it over again. The top 22 drivers are going to be are pitting on the front stretch. Everybody else is pitting on the back stretch. So, like I said, the guy that got that last pit stall for the front stretch, Steve Gottschalk. He was the very last one to get it. So those qualifying times matter.
Okay. All right. Well,
even for the guys in the back.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy, and that's going to be something we'll keep an eye on, talk about throughout the night. But this man right here puts it on pole here tonight. Justin Fuller, Tommy Ryan starting in second. Third place starter Anthony DeBarro. Fourth place man Nick Cohan. Fifth place there starting tonight Scott Simley. Jimmy Coleman starting in the sixth place. Seventh place Jose Gonzalez. Eighth place Chad Cole. Ninth place starter Thomas George. And round out the top 10 Josh Parker. And it is, as we look through the field, a lot of these guys just need no introduction. It is a who's who of field here in the Sim 500. Week in and week out, well, they bring on an exciting show weekend, and it's awesome in these monster machines.
Yeah, this is going to be a great race, man. These guys, so many competitive drivers here, so many guys that want to win, so many guys that have a lot of wins that want to continue to win and going for that points championship, going for $25 tonight. I mean, all at Bristol. What other better place to do all this is Bristol. That $25 going in there, I think that's going to really have some good racing between those four guys that are doing that.
Absolutely, and that's the thing too. You put the added, incentive of money in there. It does change a little bit. Sometimes you would think it would calm drivers down. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it don't. I mean, this is Bristol, and we just can't sit here and emphasize that enough because this place, usually we say, well, you're the leader, get out front. That's the best place to be. Problem with here at Bristol, and you know this, Don, is eventually that leader is always going to be in traffic, even if we get a little bit of a green flag, especially with almost 40 cars out here. So danger lurks around every corner, even for the leader.
Yeah, there's always danger here. It's not going to take long for guys to start, slowing up a little bit. Leader's going to catch lap cars. He's going to have to negotiate the lap cars. Most of the time the lap cars are very courteous. They get out of the way, but they're also racing them, with other cars around them too. And guys are racing to get that lucky dog, stay in the lead lap. So, the leader's got to contend with positions behind them, guys trying to pass them, but also the traffic of the lap cars that they have to get around.
There you go. Pace car's pulling them around. It usually does 2 laps here before they let this field loose, and we go racing here under the lights of Bristol for the Sim 500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice here. And a good-looking field. Justin Fuller, he's going to pull them out front to start this one and bring on the mayhem here tonight as pace cars pulling them around. I think for the final time, the ducks off. Here we go. Coming out of turn 4. We're going racing here Bristol style as they bring the motors to life, and they'll be roaring to life here. 200 laps around this place as you hear them guys storming across start-finish line. And Justin Fuller, boy, he just jumped out to a gun out front.
Yeah, he got a great lead. He got a great start there. This track is so small, this field is so long that the whole field pretty much takes up half the race at the start. So, I mean, like you said, like we were talking, close quarters racing at all times here.
Absolutely. Justin Fuller just jumped out and just left long gone. You got to go back here to Josh Parker and company with Thomas George before you even go side by side. Now, we talked about it. Everybody's going to try to get single file as fast as they possibly can. I know right now the tires are the best they can. You can run the low line a little bit, but everybody's going to, I think the high line's where you want to be.
Yeah, the high line is ultimately where you want to be, but it's also hard to pass if you're on the high line. You got to jump down to the inside to try to get past those guys, but at the same time, you got to try to protect your own position, So it's just a matter of taking care, like it is each and every week. It's a matter of taking care of those tires and which guy can make those moves count as far as passing goes.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, right now, well, we're going to just kind of keep up with all this action because there's a lot of it going on. As Justin Fuller he's jumped out to a 1.4 second lead on the field. The top guys, man, are kind of single file. I'm watching a battle back here at about the 19th to 15th back spots. They got a lot of it going on back here. Corbin Hemstreet in the mix there. Glenn Campbell, Jonathan Goodell back there. Mitch Rollo, that's one of the Clash guys there. All in the back here. You know, they're trying to get fanned out single file, but still, they're kind of side by side.
Yeah, so far it's been pretty calm for Bristol. You know, I mean, we're only a few laps in. We're not even 10 laps in, but you kind of see who's kind of taking the opportunities with the high side and the low side. A lot of these guys are still trying to run that low line because they got fresh tires and they can basically make it work. But that'll pretty much go away the longer these runs go.
Oh, Jonathan Goodell, boy, he's
struggling.
Well, and you know what? He almost did what we were talking about in the practice right there. Down low, that car washes up high there a little bit. Almost it goes into another one there as he almost got contact.
Oh,
and
car's
Chad
in front of
Cole.
him.
Good save, man. I'm going to tell you what's a good driving job. Took the cone out, but he did an awesome save job right there out of the turn.
That was oh, we got more cars wrecking now. Back in turn. Wow. Couldn't see where that was at.
But back in, about Mike Kelly, I think, and it was actually, I believe, the 02 Dwight Beverly. Just, you know, here's the thing. Bump and run. That term comes to mind when you talk about Bristol. Because what we just saw right there, just a little bit of contact on the back end, can send the car around. I mean, you come up on a driver so fast. Everybody has different braking points. You come up on a driver so fast, sometimes you might get them in the back end.
Yeah, or sometimes guys just get impatient. You know, they know that their guy in front of them, they feel like he might be holding them up or something like that. So, you know, he might give them a few laps to say, hey, I'm faster, and then finally give them a couple bumper shots to let them know, hey, you know, I'm going to be nice, but after a little while, you just got to get out of my way or I'll move you.
Absolutely. What was that old saying is bump you one time, let you know I'm here. Second time, hey, you need to move. Third time, I'm moving you.
Yeah, definitely. And that does happen here. I mean, you know, because guys got to go. They got people behind the other drivers behind them. You know, like you said, different braking points too. You know, it's just the nature of the beast here. It's just that's Bristol.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm just riding along right here. Jason Barham, he was back in the back, and I was just watching some of it. What I'm noticing right now is coming off of these turns. These guys are having a handful already. We're only in lap 15, 16, which, you know, for Bristol's not that long in. But they're already stepping this rear end out sideways. Already got some evil handling cars.
Well, if you see Fuller, you know, he's already catching lap traffic. He's not wasting any time. Oh, we have a yellow.
Okay. Yeah. And
looks like it's over in turn 3.
Nick Silver is involved in it. Let me go here on the replay and see because everybody checked up really good. Actually, the 02 got squirrely, went up the track, and man, we got 2 cars on their lid. That was Corbin Hemstreet and the 59 machine there. But that all started actually with the 02, what we were just talking about there, Don. He came out of the turn, got loose sideways, held onto it, got up into the wall. The 46 there went down low Nick Silver, and then Corbin Hemstreet barely caught him. And I'm going to tell you what, the rest of the field did an outstanding job to get woed up and not come flying in there, man, and have a big one.
Was that the 59 that went sliding across the track on his lid?
59 and looks like Corbin Hemstreet.
Yeah, Sean went for a heck of a ride. He slid up the track. Yeah. And wow, that was something else. That was a pretty wild wreck for Bristol.
Man, I tell you, that was crazy, man. We'll watch it again here. Yeah, these guys right now are evil loose. I will definitely. My hat's off to him out there. You saw the 02. He slid way up into the track, and then just Nick Silver just nowhere to go. There were 3 wide there, and and the 59. He went a wild ride across the 59 there of Sean Castro. Wild ride.
Yeah.
But what I'm already seeing so far here, Don, is these cars, man, are just evil handling right now. And I mean, that word I know it's a harsh word to use, but really from what I'm seeing, these guys are already having their hands full, and it was only in lap 15.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of those guys are, you know, trying to use that low line too, so it might be burning up some of their tires. But yeah, from what I was getting at talking to a couple guys before the race, is the setup seemed like it was kind of tight in the center of the corner, but getting off the corners is when it was really loose and you had to kind of feather it. So I think that's what we're seeing is the longer the tire wear goes, the longer we get into the run, the more you're going to see it's going to get really loose coming off the corners.
And that's, and two, last night you're talking about the Xfinity car, which obviously has a little more power than the truck does. The trucks here, you can kind of manhandle them. I mean, this car here, ultimate power. You really, I always call this more of a finesse style car, the Gen 6 Cup machine. You just got to be very, very, fine on the throttle, easy on everything out there and whatnot. It's very finesse, but the problem is Bristol, you are running some pretty good speed to be such a short track, carrying it into these turns. But coming off the turn, it reminds me kind of like what Dover coming off the turns, you can get very sideways very quickly because when you try to lay the power back down, it just doesn't want to. This is a concrete style track. Yeah, it's concrete style. So yeah.
Well, when you're getting the power down, you got to remember you're going from the transition from, a higher banking into the straightaway, which doesn't have as much banking. So it does unsettle the car a little bit. The back end of the car, what they call, gets a little light. So it kind of feels like it feels like the back end of the car is coming out from underneath you. It's just very loose. So, that's just the nature of the beast at Bristol. Fixed setup, there's only so much the drivers can do about it.
Yeah, you got to love it, man. Bristol, man, I tell you what, it's one of these tracks where it brings out the best of you and actually can bring out the best of your nerves. Here, it definitely did on me. Yeah, it's just, some guys love it. Some guys just like, man, I just want to get out of here, and I hate it, but it all depends. I guess if we still get some of these, cautions might not be too bad for the leader. Long green flag runs for him, Will. As the pace car ducks off on pit road, Justin Fuller's going to bring him. And he again gets another good jump out front of the field. And here comes old Thomas George with Nick Cohan in tow there. They're going to try Nick Cohan. He's one of those Dash for Cash drivers.
Yeah, he's actually the highest one right now. He's in the position to get that $25 if he stays where he's at. And, I'm sure he's not just content with that $25. He'd like to get a win out of here, too.
Oh, yeah. He's won quite a few here this season so far. The man on top of the points.
Thomas George getting pushed around there a little bit down there.
Yeah, he's down low. The car's just not doing what it needs to do. He's got to be patient so he can get back up high. Don't want to push the issue because that's the thing. A lot of guys get impatient, push the issue, then you get into more trouble than what you got.
Yeah, definitely. His teammate was right there. Jonathan Goodell kind of let him in, gave him a little slack so he can get back up high. But, yeah, he lost a whole bunch of positions.
When you even talk about a guy like Chad Cole who's struggling in this car here on this track earlier on, we saw him. I mean, we know he's one of the most consistent drivers out here. We know he can wheel these things around. So when he's having trouble, these cars are definitely a handful out there.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point. When you see guys like Chad Cole, who I was talking about earlier, he's just week in and week out, he's always right there knocking out those top 5s or top 10 finishes. He's basically Mr. Consistency in the league. And yeah, when you see guys like him struggling, then you definitely know that this is a hard car to get around this track as the yellow comes out again.
Yeah, I just saw it back there in the back, and it was a huge one. It started. That one actually
collected. It's on the back stretch.
Yeah. Trying to see who it was.
Field's getting low down on the back stretch as these guys are trying to get turned around.
I saw the car getting wiggly there. I'm trying to find who that number was. I was watching it live as we were.
Actually, I think the 83 was in that.
I think that was Mitch Rollo, one of the Dash for Cash guys. Yeah, he just came into the turn low, almost lost it, and then the 51. Nick Timms nowhere to go, bumped him a little bit, but man, tell you what, Brian Borscook involved, Steve Goschalk involved, Mike Kelly, Mike Kelly's involved in that one. Jose Gonzalez got a little piece of that one.
Yeah, he just lost it by himself there, and then had a little bit of help. Guys are trying to get checked up, but they also got to worry about getting run over. And yeah, that's what we were talking about. Just the track gets blocked, things happen so fast. And these guys, that's another thing. A lot of those guys, if you notice in that wreck, a lot of those guys that got caught up in that were guys that were actually coming through the corner. There was already wrecking going on in front of them. The reason why they came through it so quick is they just can't see what's going on in front of them. They're coming through the corner.
Man, and I tell you, it's just what we're seeing right now, folks. product of this track. I mean, it's really these cars right now are just evil handed. What's going to probably happen here is usually, I don't know 100%, but normally I've seen, you know, patterns of things, and they're going to see that these cars are going to be evil handling. They're going to have to start being a little more patient, backing the turns up, lowering it down just a little bit, at least till the end of the race anyway, then just go for it. But normally at the early parts, you kind of got to see what you've got here, and what I'm seeing is this track's awful loose.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of guys just trying to struggle with the setup and these close conditions, these tight, you know how tight this racetrack is as far as racing conditions go. It's just, yeah, they're just. I think I agree. I think they're just trying to get a feel for the car right now. I think these guys will get settled in, and I think we'll have some long green flag runs here in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. As Justin Fuller still leads this one right now, with Anthony DeBarro there in second, Josh Parker sitting in third, Nick Cohan, he's the man's up in fourth, Tommy Ryan there in fifth. We got Eric Arnold sitting in sixth, Nelson Rivera seventh, Tommy Ryan's moved up. Looks like one car's going to the pits. Greg Evans eighth, Chad Cole ninth, and Thomas George rounds the top 10. As we're here live at Bristol under the lights. There's already been some fireworks.
Pace cars off, and they're going to be going green. A lot of bumping on that start. Still with me, Joe?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you.
OBS decided it was going to do something crazy.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yeah, really good start for Justin Fuller. He really jumps out front there in front of Anthony DeBarro, Nick Cohan. Ooh, Nick Cohan dropping back just a little bit. Had a little bit of issues there. Got real tight there coming off the corner for a bunch of those guys.
All right, cool. We good. Sorry about that, folks. Man, I tell you what. I guess our storm, man, definitely.
Eric Arnold got a little loose there coming off the corner, too. Looked like he was going to tag the wall, but he saved it.
Eric Arnold, what's he at? All right, I'm back with you, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Just checking some things out here.
But right now, Justin Fuller still leading. Anthony DeBarro second, Josh Parker in third, Nick Cohan fourth.
Man, I tell you what, and that's just the thing here at Bristol, beating and banging. We're going to see it all night long. These guys just going to be right there on top of it. Right now, Justin Fuller, he has been the man from the start of this one who has gotten out front of this field and gotten away from the chaos back there behind him.
Yeah, that's the way you need to do is, just try to run your own race and run the track. Obviously, he's going to get into some lap traffic, but, in the beginning of the restarts, the best place to be is up front, just kind of run your pace. I'm kind of looking back through the field a little bit. These guys are racing a little hard back there, beating and banging, but it's been pretty clean so far.
Yeah, I'm kind of going through this field because there's so much action going on. I'm with you there, Don. There's just like up front, there's action. I always say, out front, middle, and the back, all over the track here. Doug Roth, he's got one of those hippie paint shop machines out there in STP.
Yeah, he's always got good paint jobs every time he comes out here in that 43 car. Trying to find it myself. There it is. I think maybe these guys have settled out just a little bit. They're not too concerned about beating and banging right now. I think they just want to kind of get settled in and get into their groove here a little bit. Maybe they calm down just a little.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. I mean, you got to be patient. If you're not, we talked about that in practice. Patience is definitely going to be patience is a virtue and a key here, but it is Bristol, and also, like you said, you got to go.
Yeah, we got a good battle here. I'm watching Thomas George, Jonathan Goodell, and Chad Cole battle right there. Chad Cole, after he had that little issue getting loose there and saving the car, he's kind of bounced back. Had been a good run here.
Yeah, and they got another good battle behind them there. Nelson Rivera, Scott Simley, Sean Bounty, as they're trying to bring it up. Sean's trying to use that low line, see if he can't get in front of old Nelson.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to get that. The high side seems like it carries the momentum, but you can definitely make some moves on the low side, early on in the tire run. It's just a matter of the way you can kind of arc it, and the guy up high, he can kind of come off the corner and pinch that guy down low a little bit, kind of stall his momentum. So It's just it's just kind of a battle of which lines on the high side and which line on the low side you kind of get your car into the corner, and if you can get that momentum coming off to complete the pass. But he's sticking with him down low. He's trying to make that pass. They're still side by side.
Yeah, so far so good. As though Sean, he's hanging down low, hanging strong there on the low line. Behind him, everybody's kind of single file. Let's go a little further back here. You're starting to see E.J. O'Rourke not having the night he is. He got caught up in the accident earlier on. It's back in 25th. Obviously, we talked about Steve Goschalk back there in the back. He's way back in the back of the pack here, all tore up. But our leader, boy, I tell you what, he's had a handle on this track. Justin Fuller, he's out front right now.
Yeah, he's getting ready to catch some of these lap cars, and he's just kind of having to weed his way through some of these guys here. But he's definitely been the class of the field. He's making it happen tonight. It looks like Anthony's trying to work that low line. I'm kind of noticing Justin seems to be entering the corner a little low. Well, I guess he's taking a low line now too. It looks like he might have been switching up because Anthony was catching him. But these guys definitely are taking two distinct lines in different ends of the track.
Yes, you're 100% on that one. So it looks like everybody right now is kind of and you're right. I didn't see it like there. You're seeing Justin Fuller. He's going low, and Anthony Navarro's kind of doing that. Well, he's going low with him, but did you see him come off he came off the turn still sideways. Man, these things are evil loose.
Well, I'm just watching. Justin looked like he might have been seeing Anthony come and change his lineup a little bit as Anthony's powering to the bottom, trying to get by him, and they're having to deal with some lap cars. They went 3 wide there just for a second, but Anthony's definitely making that low line work. He's just can't quite get the momentum to pass him.
No,
more
he's
lap
up
cars
underneath him.
In. Oh, almost gave him a bumper.
Yeah, he's got to be careful being down low like that. Don't want to push up the track and end up getting into him. Now they're getting in the middle of a lap traffic, but you're right. I'm seeing him utilize a lot different lanes. He's trying to look up high, maybe down low or something.
Yeah, and he's also got to anticipate what line those lap cars are going to be. Most of them are probably going to stay low, so he probably won't be able to get the low line that he would like to have in certain parts of the track. But they're, so far they're just kind of nose to tail, weeding their way through these lap cars, trying to pick their way through. Maybe when they get a little bit of clean air in front of them, these guys will get a little racy again.
And so far, man, they have been very patient to be Bristol. We've had a couple cautions, but most of it's been like the product of the track. I'm going to say here is you're already seeing Nick Timms looking like he might go a lap down. Now, Anthony might be trying to use that lap car. Now, it's a strategy here at this track.
Yeah, some of these guys will actually use those cars as like a pick to where they'll know one of the other cars that they're battling will get caught up behind the guy maybe. Lap car is just trying to get out of the way. He knows his leaders are battling, but at the same time, he's on the track racing too, so he just has to do what he can do. And you'll see right now, Anthony, he's got it on the bottom, and he can't quite get the run, but yeah, they're really struggling to get by Nick. But, Nick's doing what he can to stay out of the way. He's also trying not to go lap down. Yeah,
he's trying to hang on to that top spot. I mean, Justin's got that high line. Anthony just can't get the bite down low. He needs it. There, he's going to say, look, hey, he gave him a little bump. Say, look, Nick, I need to go. I'm in a battle at 3 wide.
And he slides right in front of Nick. Nick goes down low. Oh, that was really good.
That's not going to work. Yeah.
No, looked like Nick gave him just a little bit of a break coming off. But, yeah, he was really racing him really hard to stay on that lead lap. He did not want to give that. He did not want to give that up.
Yeah, and there's a lot of times, man. I defend a lot of lap cars, a lot of times, and here's my philosophy on it again. Whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, either way, it's just my opinion on it. If you're a lap car, you have all the right in the world to race on the track, but if you are definitely a lot slower than the leader, get out the way. If you can stay on the lead lap, and know you can, if you're running speed, and obviously if you're running speed with the leader, he's not going to just run up on your back bumper. But if you're running speed with the leader, hey, by all means, race, try to stay on it. In a case like that, Nick tore up in the front, knew he wasn't that fast, saw those two back there battling each other. In a case like that, and it's it's time to move out the way. You know what I mean? Especially it was already a lap down already. You know, he was going 2 laps down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't know if he was going 2 or 1 or.
Yeah, it's, you know, a lot of times, and that's the thing though, Don. I mean, I do defend a lot of lap cars because there's a lot of guys, man, that feel like lap cars. Oh man, y'all just need to get out the way, get off the track. No, I mean, no. There's times when a lap down car has just as much right out there as anybody else to race. But then again, they need to know the situation involved, and they need to know, you know, this and that, and just what is it, situational awareness? How's that? That's a good word to use.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we're talking about lap cars. It's not going to be too long before Anthony picks up a whole big old gaggle of lap cars. He's about 2 turns or a little less than a straightaway before he catches a really big pack of cars that'll race him really hard.
Now, here's the thing about with Bristol, though, and a lot of times when we're talking about tracks, maybe like in Atlanta, Charlotte, or something like that, where you're running up on a lap car who definitely is up to speed. The problem with Bristol is with leaders like Anthony and Justin, they're always going to be in lap traffic. So it's a little bit different with a one groove style track here. Same thing with like a Martinsville or something. It's really, really tough to pass. Really, really, you know, hard to get around. A little different when you have to deal with it. You still, as a lap car, and it, like again, everybody has a different opinion on it. Drivers out there are like, you know, Joe, shut up, you know what I'm talking about. Hey, I get it, you know, competitive. You don't want to go down a lap. You don't want to do this and that. Sometimes though, man, it's better to live to fight
we got a
another
spin on
day.
the front stretch. Somebody hit the wall in the front stretch. No caution came out, but somebody hit the wall in the front stretch. Is it John?
Glenn
No,
Campbell?
it wasn't Cadell. No, yeah, it was Campbell, I think.
He's slow. Let's see. Let's go back around.
It was the
replay, see.
99. I'm almost positive it was the 99.
Yeah, he was down on the apron. But let's go back on the replay, see if we can't catch it. Got a feeling it was pretty much what we've seen all race long. Down there low, kind of just lost the rear end of the car. And these things are so, yep, he pretty much crossed the apron, came off the turn, slid, nailed the inside wall. Typical Bristol.
He definitely took out that inside wall. Hit that inside wall really hard.
All right.
We got changed to the lead too.
Yeah, that's been like that. Anthony DeBarro.
Oh, I thought he just did. My bad.
No way he did it when he got around Nick Cohan when they were battling.
Yeah.
Chad Coleman, he had to chase that car down the track there, and you're starting to see these guys now. They've been out here for about 58 laps. Now you're really starting to see tire wear. But you just saw right there, he chased that thing all the way down. Got really, really loose.
Yeah, Anthony Barrow's thick in traffic right now. I mean, he is right in the hornet's nest.
Yeah, let's go up here and see. Yeah, he's got to be very, very, and talking about Chad Coleman there, he's about to put him a lap down. The problem is he's got to be careful. I mean, these guys, you know, like you said, they don't want to go a lap down, but like Chad Coleman right there, he understands his car is evil handling. I mean, it's just all over the place. Doesn't want to get in a wreck. Doesn't want to take a leader out. Doesn't want to be in that kind of situation. But Anthony's got to still be patient going through here.
Yeah, as a guy that's usually a lap car, me, you know, I just try to get out of the guys' way most of the time, especially in a short track like this. You know, I just try to figure out what the leader's preferred line is going to be, and you know, just try to hold my line and stay out of the way. Let those guys do their thing. You know, especially if I've got a wrecked car, if I got in an early wreck or early incident or something like that.
Oh yeah. Well, let's go up here and check in on our Dash for Cash guys, because right now Eric Arnold is the top man. He's sitting in second. Nick Cohan sitting in fourth. Malik Ray.
He did not take the green.
He did not take the green. You know what? That is probably the first. Shame on me for not even noticing that there, Don. I didn't even pay attention. He wasn't even in the race. But Mitch Rollo, not the night he wants. He's way back in 30 seconds. So right now the race is actually between. Yeah, he got caught up in that accident early on. Race between Eric Arnold and Nick Cohan. We do got some cars out. Chris Jabu, Mitch Rollo, Brian Borscook, Steve Goschalk, Dwight Beverly, Nick Silver, and Sean Castro all out of the race as of right now.
Yeah, wow. I'm watching the leader just trying to negotiate this traffic. Some places he's having to stick his nose 3 wide in between these lap cars. I have to give it to him. A lot of these lap cars are giving him a lot of courtesy and getting out of the way.
Well, they understand he's faster. I mean, and I got to give my hats off. I really give a hats off to a lead lap car that understands that the leader is just way, way faster, rather than one out there going, "Well, I've got a beat up car. I know I'm not that fast, but I want to stay on the lead lap, and I'm gonna." To me, man, look, try to get it on a lucky dog. Try to do it on this and that. Don't try to wreck the leader in the process or hold the field up and end up having a big pile up in the back. That's just me.
Yeah, I was just watching Eric Arnold, the second place guy. He was battling, cautions out. He was battling 3 wide for a while there. And it looks like it is in, I think it was in turn 4. It looked like a single car. I couldn't tell who it was though.
Yeah, everybody's kind of slowed up, woed up back here in the back.
It started in turn 3. Car spun out in turn 3. I'm trying to figure out who it was.
Oh, there it is. Saw it.
It was the 57. It looked like Nick Cohan in a lap car maybe. Oh no, it was the 52. Nick Cohan in a 52.
That's what I thought.
Justin
I saw.
Fuller
That's
and
what
Nick
I
Cohan.
thought. It was Justin Fuller. I saw
Our
a
points
50 on
leader.
it. Yeah, saw a 50. Nick Cohan, he just got in the back end of him a little bit. Again, just one of them racing deals, short tracking, and he was spinning, and Nick Cohan just finally just put the throttle down and sent him on around, I guess. Short track racing.
Did. He almost saved it. He almost had it saved. Then Nick gave him another little shot there.
Yeah,
But
short track racing.
That's short track racing there.
I see a lot of that. A lot of people are like, "Oh man, what's wrong with him?" It's just short track racing. It's just product of what this place is, a product of what the track is, and they went a long time on that run.
They definitely
We're almost halfway, and bonus points here. So
yeah, we're looking at bonus point territory. In 10 laps, these guys top 10 are going to get awarded bonus points. So,
all right. Well, here we go. Eric Arnold, he's looking good so far. Got him out here. Everybody's on pit road. Get 4 tires and fuel.
yeah, definitely going to get 4 tires. Fuel's not as much of a factor, but these guys are still going to put fuel in it because it does change the setup of the car if you decide to either not get fuel or, maybe run it close to empty. It just affects the weight factor. So yeah, these guys are going to get 4 tires and fuel and send them on their way.
Josh Parker wins it off pit road. He had a phenomenal pit stop of a 13.8. That is a very good pit stop.
Yeah, we're seeing some guys that haven't been seeing up front after these pit stops. Josh Parker, Tommy Ryan, Thomas George, top 3 guys. Those are guys we haven't really talked about all night being in the up front.
Absolutely. Hey, what's up, Dale? How you doing out there? Having a good one, Bristol, and we had a good that we have seen. A lot of the cautions we've seen tonight are basically single cars just losing them. These guys are evil handling out here.
Yeah, this last one, it looked like Fuller was maybe struggling a little bit, and then Nick Cohan was just, hey, I got to go. He was on the go pedal, and they've had a little contact there, but short track racing.
Absolutely. As we're getting set here to go back green flag. What's up, John? How you doing, man? Pace car's in. Green flag, and Josh Parker is the man who's going to lead them out front here, along with Greg Evans, Tommy Ryan, and Thomas George, as everybody's trying to get single file, see what they can get up front.
Yeah, he got a good jump there on the lead. Josh Parker, clean air, got in front of those guys. It's like second and third are battling tight there. Jonathan Goodell's going to stick his nose in that battle.
Ooh, boy, I tell you what, a car off down there looked like Tommy Ryan's. He held on to it, though. Joey Catina's up there in the top. He had a good pit stop and was able to make it out front there. He's sitting in the 5th place, Nelson Rivera. So some guys were, that normally
we got another caution.
And some guys normally, man, who are
Big.
not up front, well, they are now. That's going to involve E.J. O'Rourke and company. Let's go back and see what happened here. So we can't get, I don't know if it actually started with him, but if not, it's going to be in that vicinity. Yeah. Oh, well, he got checked up, so it was in his area. The 83 was involved. Actually, it was between the 41. EJ just kind of got checked up, didn't want to run into it, and the 83...
Looked like the 83 got a little hot going in there and just didn't slow down enough.
Who's 83?
Jason Burrow.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, that's just short track product racing right there. You kind of just go in and you try to get checked up, but you can't.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it works out. You know, I'm pretty sure you're not going to see too many of these guys pitting, especially if these guys want these bonus points, because we're going to be awarding those here in just a couple laps. Top 10 are going to get those. And our points leader and the guy that's one of the guys racing for that 25 points, you know, after that yellow, he got kind of thrown back there a little bit, working his way back up, Nick Cohan, but he's got a struggle ahead of him.
Yeah, so far so good. As the race is still on here, Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. Been a very, very good race so far. As these guys, man, that we're at Bristol, we're racing under the lights here, folks. What's going on, everybody out there? Appreciate everybody, man, tuning in. And it's been a wild one, as we got Josh Parker leading it, Greg Evans right there in second, Jonathan Goodell sitting in third, Thomas George fourth, Joey Coutinho up in fifth, Nelson Rivera sixth, Chad Cole seventh, Justin Fuller back to eighth, Eric Arnold ninth, and Scott Simley rounds the top 10 as of right now. Hey, it's a typical Bristol race here, Don.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Feelings are going to get hurt. Guys are going to leave here mad. Some guys are going to leave here happy. That's just the nature of the beast, man. That's Bristol. You can't do nothing about it.
No doubt about it. As we're getting set here to go back green flag racing once again. Man, I tell you, I don't even know who's going to come out of this thing on top.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. It's yeah, it's kind of hard to figure out because you know, some of the guys that have been fast early on are kind of marred back and had some issues. Justin Fuller, he's had his little share of issues here and there. Eric Arnold, and now we're seeing some guys up front that we haven't really talked about most of the night. Josh Parker, Greg Evans, Jonathan Goodell, Thomas George, Joey Coutinho. We haven't really talked about Joey at all, and he's going to fifth now.
You know what, and I'm not going to talk about those guys because every time I do, they do bad.
I will.
Well, every time you do, they do bad.
That's
called
true.
The broadcaster's jinx. And like, I'm going to stay unbiased tip here, but the last couple times I've ever talked about them so much, they end up wrecking. So we're going to try the opposite route and see what happens on that. But anyway, they're doing good tonight. As pace cars pulling them more out. What's that?
Oh, I was going to say, right here, we're going to get those, the top 10 are going to get the bonus points right here, lap 100, completion of lap 100.
Yep. Josh Parker's going to get it.
Yep, 10 points for Josh Parker, 9 for Greg Evans, and on down, all the way down to 10th, is going to get 1 point as we go back green here soon.
Yeah, what's up, Dawson? Well, you missed a lot of racing. Typical Bristol, pace cars in. Josh Parker, he gets to jump out front. He brings the field to life here under the lights here at Bristol tonight. As whoever's lead this one usually gets a good jump out front over the field. Greg Evans, he's right there along with them. But behind them, the battle's on. Justin Fuller's trying to make up spots that he can to get up front. Thomas George there along with Nelson Rivera. Joey Coutinho's down low. So everybody's just trying to get what they can get here early.
Yeah, some of these guys up front that haven't been up here yet, you know, they want to really protect those positions. They don't want to go back there anymore with that mess. They want to stay up front. They like where they're at. They're about halfway. Winning a good race so far for some of these guys.
And the gas dash for cash runners right now, Eric Arnold is the top man. Nick Cohan, they're keeping that tight right there between those two. They understand what's in the line. $25 on the line here tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Those guys, they necessarily don't have to win. It's just whoever finishes ahead of those guys right now. And yeah, as of right now, it looks like Eric Arnold is the man that's going to collect that 25 if it keeps the way it is.
So far, so good. He'll be 25 richer after this one here in the lights, and it'd probably be a win-win for him. Right now, though, you have got a gaggle of cars back here. They are almost 3 wide. That's around with Anthony DeBarro. He is 3 wide.
Yeah, some of these guys, they don't care. They said short track, and we don't care. We can still go 3 wide here.
Whew. Yeah, usually 9 times out of 10 it don't work out, but a lot of times you can make it work, especially on good tires. On good tires, you can make that move, man, look like it's really easy going. As Anthony's on his way to the front, he's right there in the 10th place spot so far.
Yeah, and Nick Cohan's back there giving him a little pressure down low, too. He's trying to march his way up there right there with Anthony.
Everybody is trying to get, like I say, on good tires, trying to get what they can get and see what they can do. Is right now, though, it looks like the number.
Oh, we got a spinner.
12.
Somebody hit the inside wall.
But that don't tell me
no
anything,
yellow.
man.
No yellow. I was trying to see who it was. No yellow. Slow car down on the apron. I'm trying to see who it is.
Always tell me, man, you always yell and say somebody's spinning, but then you don't tell me who it is. Oh.
I couldn't see who it was. I don't have all that fancy stuff like you do.
Yeah. Well, I'm paying attention up front here. And that's the bad thing. Like I say, sometimes some tracks, though, we see guys spin, the caution doesn't come out, we might miss it. A lot of times it happens on road courses, a lot of times when we do it that way.
Yeah, it's just, so much action going on. If it's a self spinner and the caution doesn't come out, we don't necessarily always catch it.
Yeah, I mean, and you're right. When you just said, I mean, you took the words out of my mouth. There's so much action going on. I mean, it's up front, middle, and the back. I mean, just trying to just fan through the field here because, like right here, you've got, Tommy Ryan, Scott Simley, Rick Thompson. I mean, they are all right there nose to tail just hammering on each other.
Yeah, there's you could see some of the damage on some of the front ends of these cars where these guys are like, beating and banging the bumpers, getting a little impatient. Hey, it's time to go. We're past halfway.
Absolutely. And you can see it right now as the number 20 there, Chad Coleman. Well, he has a lap down, but he's in the middle of that mix right there along with Rick Thompson. You got Doug Roth there who is a lap down. So you got some lap cars in the middle of it, trying to get what they can get just in case a caution comes out and they get that lucky dog and get back up front. But you see Chad Coleman fighting with the wheel on that thing. I mean, it's sideways every turn.
Yeah, I was noticing that. It looked like Roth was kind of fighting the wheel a little bit there, too. Yeah, you got guys here that are, laps down, but they're racing other lap cars. Then you got guys that are on the lead lap that are obviously, fighting for positions, too. And they're all mixed together. So they're all, everybody's got a reason to be racing. Just because you're a lap car doesn't mean you ain't got a reason to be racing.
Absolutely. And you got some fast lap cars there, too, that lap down. I think they got caught on that pit stop cycle with that last caution is the reason they got the lap down here. But either way, we've only got, I'm showing 17 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, I just saw Rick Thompson got a little loose coming off the corner. Looked like he slapped the inside wall of the driver's side just a little bit. Got going again, though. It's like we were talking about before. These cars are so hard to handle coming off these corners that a lot of these times these cars just break loose.
Yeah, I tell you what, Josh Parker, he is already getting up into some lap traffic. Again, we talked about that in practice. The leader, danger lurks around every corner here at this track because he's not just safe, just been out front like a mile and a half or something. When you're out there riding around, here are the short tracks. A lot of times you're going to gain on the back end of the field very quickly, and when you do, it's hazardous.
Yeah, it's just a matter of when you can catch those lap cars as far as passing play points, and if those guys are going to be able to give up the line for you to get by them and all that other stuff. And you also got to worry about the positions of the guys behind you that are catching up. Like right now, Josh Parker, he's got about a 1.7 second lead on Greg Evans, 1.8. And, that's going to close up real quick as soon as he catches a lot more of these lap cars that are in front of him.
Absolutely. Hey, go back here, man. Cadell, Justin, you got Nelson and all these guys back here. They're all still nose to tail. They're going around some lap traffic, but they're all right there in a group and a pack.
Yeah, those guys back there are fighting. Jonathan Cadell's having a really good night tonight. Thomas George, his teammate. Greg Evans right there, too. All three of those guys, Steel Horse Racing, second, third, and fourth. They're having a really good night tonight. Josh Parker's got a heck of a lead, but, these guys, they're holding their own. They're just kind of trucking along, holding their own, waiting to see if some of those lap cars in front slow Josh down.
Joey Catino's still holding his own right there, sitting in 8th, but Anthony DeBarro is a madman on a mission. He is trying to get around the outside of Eric Arnold right there, who Here could be your battle for the dash for cash, because now you got Eric Arnold and Nick Cohan almost to be nose to tail.
Yeah, it's funny how that works out. The guys that are running for that 25 bucks are also right here side by side on the track. Another caution.
Caution.
Looks like there's
25.
a car, yeah, the 25. Thomas George on the backstretch got turned around for some reason.
Let me find him.
He was running third place, too.
Well, if I can find him, there he is. Let's go back and see.
Looks like he just got loose. He just lost it coming off the corner.
Yep, showing a replay so the viewers can see it. And you're right, pretty much just a product of what has been happening all night long is, oh, there was a car in front of him. Wait a minute. We'll go back there a second. There was a car sitting in the middle of the track. And I think he just had to slam up on the brakes, and that's why that thing broke loose. Let me see if I can pause this very quickly and find out who that is. That's the 83 that was sitting in the middle of the track.
I didn't see that part.
Yeah, I didn't see it until I just actually was watching him. And so let me go on the 83 here. But what happened was he was sitting in the middle of the track. He's just sitting in the middle of the track. Let's see what happened to the 83 here, though.
Oh, I did see him. Okay, I didn't see him hit him before. My bad.
Yeah, I didn't see it. And it just looks like Thomas George just had to... looks like the 83 just lost it in the turn, hit the wall, then was just sitting right there for a second, and sitting and sitting and sitting. Sitting.
Yeah, it's kind of odd that the caution didn't come out before that, but yeah, Thomas just got a little bit of them. That's really too bad for Thomas. It looked like the 31 got a little bit of piece of that too, Eric Arnold, but it looked like he'd continue on.
Oh, Chad Cole came in the last second. Got in there. That's just that's Bristol.
Well, like I was saying before, visibility is an issue here too, because so much banking and you're in these cars and you can't really see that far ahead of you as it is, and you can be in the straightaway here, and there could be a wreck in the corner, there could be a car stopped in the corner, and you won't even know it unless your spotter or teammate says something to you until you're almost right on top of them, just because you can't see it because of the way the perspective is from inside the car.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right, John. It's just short track racing at its finest right there as we're live here tonight under the lights here, Bristol, for the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. For a Bristol race, it actually has been a very good race. We've had some long green flag runs and, typical cautions. But a lot of the cautions, what you just saw right there, have been pretty much what we've seen all night. Single cars losing it due to the fact that these cars out here right now are just some evil handful of cars, and they're losing it coming into the turns or out of the turns, and then it just, short track, nowhere to go, and causes a pile up.
Yeah, that's the nature of the beast. It's just Saturday night short track racing, and cup cars that have so much horsepower and are so hard to handle at trying to get a muscle around here at this little Coliseum.
Absolutely.
Justin Fuller, great bounce back for him, being in third place now.
Yeah, he was on the move coming up through the field there for the moment as pace cars in. Here we go. Josh Parker, he gets a good jump. Whoever's been out in front gets a good jump, and you're seeing Justin Fuller right there. He's working up underneath the Goodell, and he's going to try to take that spot away if he can. He knows he's on some good tires. Now's the time to do it. At the high line, I think, is a little bit better right now as you get that 7 of Greg Evans on the bottom.
Yeah, 7's being like a little bit of a pick for Fuller. Goodell's making that high side work, and Justin Fuller's definitely a very fast car. So, he might be feeling that Goodell's holding him up just a little bit, because Josh Parker's just walking away right now. Yeah,
we'll have to see once they clear the 7 there, just see how it works out here. Last time I got excited, Goodell running in second, he wrecked. So I'm going to kind of keep my emotions in check and go, he's doing good.
He's doing great tonight. He's really doing really good. Justin Fuller is looking on the inside, and he's also got Chad Cole back there. that is bouncing back from that early spin that he had. And
Right.
yeah, no, Cadell's doing a great job tonight.
You know, and there's the thing is, you're talking about it, even on a short track, could be one of these wild horse style races here. As you see, Justin Fuller, excuse me, he's working him over there a little bit. But here comes Chad Cole. He wants that spot away. All I'm saying is, you know, as far as Cadell goes, you know, he understands points is what he needs, and he's trying to hold his spot because we got the chase coming up here in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, we got the, speaking of that, I'm looking at the points right now. Jonathan Cadell's 15th in points. He's trying to stay in that top 16. He's only about the car behind him is Chad Coleman, and he's only 6 points behind Jonathan Cadell for that and into the 16th spot. And Nick Thames is in the 17th spot outside looking in. So it's really tight battle there for that last chase position, and you know Cadell knows that. So he's, you know, he wants to have a good night tonight.
And if you could come out of Bristol, definitely, I'm going to say in the top 5 or anything like that, that is a win-win here, especially knowing that some of the guys have already had trouble tonight. And so far, he's sitting in second, Justin Fuller third, Chad Cole right there sitting in fourth. Greg Evans has fallen back to the 5th place spot. That's not what you want to see. I saw him blink. I don't want him blinking now.
Who was that?
Cadell.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, he also.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to talk about him too much because usually when I do, boom, something happens.
he also got some points in the halfway bonus. I think he was 3rd at the halfway bonus. So that's going to help him with some points there too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, those bonus points definitely, they pay dividends at the end there. Saw Justin Fuller drive that thing on the inside. Again, all kind of loose. I still think the high line, Chad Cole's going to try to capitalize on that.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, when you take that, oh, they're beating and banging there. It looked like Fuller got a little loose off the door of Chad Cole, but he saved it.
We want to talk about a driving job there. Justin Fuller held on to that thing. That's like a wild bull, 3,400-pound monster that he was holding on to. He got all kind of loose on the inside. He went up there, did a door slam with Chad Cole, and still held on to that car. That was a good driving job by Fuller.
Yeah, Chad had that momentum on the high side. He was going to take that high lane. He was definitely not going to let off the gas, and it closed up just a little bit. Fuller saw him coming, beat and banged a little bit. Fuller saved it, so no harm, no foul. He fell back a little bit, but he should be able to rebound.
Well, that's just a typical Bristol. That's what we were talking about all race long. You get on that low line, and that guy down low, he'll get loose, and he can push right up into the high side guy, or the opposite. The guy on the outside, he bumps the wall, comes down into you. But there's just, it's one way or the other.
Yeah, and this is full contact racing here. These guys, there's, you know, aerodynamics don't really matter as much here as Chad Cole is trying to work over Jonathan Cadell. He keeps trying to dive to the inside, but he just can't quite get the momentum to get by him.
Yeah, that inside lane, after a while, when the tires start to wear out, it's just not the place to be. I think the high line is. Because what happens is it's almost where you can get into the turn down low, but you need to go through the turn, and you need that high line coming off, and that's where it gets you all kind of loose coming off the turn.
Well, you got to be able to carry the momentum through the corner and the speed, and sometimes the low line, you know, because you have to check up, you have to whoa it up a little bit, not to push up. It'll bind the car up a little bit, slow it down. You can't quite get as much momentum. You know, sometimes you can enter the corner high, dive it down low, and get the momentum. What you look like Chad Cole was trying to do is we got another yellow on the track. Yeah, it looked like it was right in front of Chad and Johnny Cadell there. There was a car stopped in the middle of the track. I'm trying to see who it was.
Yeah, let me go back on the replay here and see. Let's see.
I'm seeing the 99 again, yeah.
99? All right.
Yep. Glenn
Campbell. Yep. All right, let's go back on the replay here. Show the viewers, you could already see him there.
He got some help there.
It was a little loose there in the turns prior. Maybe just kind of got woed up here, and yeah, oh man, I tell you what, that's just slight contact between him and E.J. O'Rourke.
Yep.
Came up the track and boy, that's something you don't want to see. The leaders coming through and see a car sitting in the middle of the track on you.
Yeah, Jonathan Cadell had to do some evasive action there. He maybe scraped the wall just a little bit, but he'll be okay. He didn't get much damage from it. But yeah, that's short track racing, man. Full contact racing. That's the way it is here. People are going to get their feelings hurt.
That's it. So we're lap 151. Got about 49 to go in this one.
Yeah, it looks like Jonathan Goodell pitted. Not everybody pitted. Some of these guys up front did not pit, but guys that I'm kind of shocked. You know, I didn't know if Goodell would pit. He was running second, but you know, he gave up that position to come in down pit road with a bunch of other guys.
So far, everybody pitted. Eric Arnold stayed out.
Look
Scott
like Josh
Stencil
Parker's, right?
and Rick Thompson.
Oh no, he pitted. Yeah, you're right.
Josh Parker pitted. Anthony
right.
DeBarro pitted. I think they actually only took 2 tires. Boy, that's going to be a gamble.
Interesting. See how that goes for him.
Yeah, no doubt. Because they were out there for quite a bit on that last stint. They was out there for about 40, 50 laps.
Yeah, they got about what? We got 48 laps left in this race.
Yeah, so he's going to have to go a long time on another set of tires, but he's probably thinking another caution.
Yeah, most likely. Right now, Eric Arnold's got the best of both worlds. Is it showing him in the lead, right? Is that right?
Eric Arnold is, but he has not pitted yet.
Oh, okay. Pitted. Well, he hasn't pitted, and well, you know, I'm sure he's hoping for a quick yellow. But if he stays where he's at right now, he's going to get that $25 too. Yeah, sometimes I got to wait for him to go past the start-finish line, get sorted out when they pit before I can see who's in what position accurately.
Well, we'll have to see if Eric Arnold actually does
decides to pit.
Yeah, decides to pit, and right now he's not. Maybe he is planning, you know, hoping for another quick call.
Well, you know, here at the end, these guys, you know, they know it's go time, and these laps are going to tick down really fast. So, you know, I hate to say it, but you might see a little bit more contact. I don't think we've seen the end of this action yet.
No, and that's what I was saying. Normally, and it did kind of play out there, kind of middle of the race, went long green flag until probably here towards the end. Like you said, everything's out the door now. It's we're almost about 40 to go here under the lights here at Bristol as pace cars pulling around. And Eric Arnold staying out here. You know, we'll see if the new tires. I actually got Anthony DeBarro going to be sitting on 2 tires, so there's another gamble. So guys throwing some strategies out here, maybe anticipating some cautions. Pace cars in or about to be in. We'll see if Eric Arnold can get a good jump on the field here. Pace cars in. Here he goes. He does get a good jump, though, over the man Josh Parker right there. And here comes Chad Cole.
Yeah, but Josh has just been so fast. I really don't think Eric's going to be able to hold him off. Nope. Josh is looking low on him right now.
Yeah, it is a matter of time before he can get up there. It's 4 tires versus, you know, old tires there. And, you know, good job by Eric. He understands, hey, look, now what this does is Nick Cohan is back there sitting in the 7th place spot. Eric might be able to stay out there long enough, thinking maybe if I can get a quick caution here, get in, get 4 tires, and, you know, hey, might be sitting good.
Yeah, he's battling right now. Cohan's trying to get up through there. He's trying to make he's trying to get past Anthony DeBarro, but just can't quite get up to him.
Nope. Right now, battle's on actually right here for about 2nd or 3rd. And that's where you got to be all so careful because that car on the outside, like I said, he can get up there, bump that wall, come straight down onto.
Yeah, Jonathan Goodell got by Eric Arnold there. Kind of just went to the inside, did a slide job right in front of him. Those old tires are not doing him any favors whatsoever. He's losing a couple spots here, and I think he's going to get lose a couple more before he races over.
Yes, Anthony DeBarro.
Yeah, Nick Cohan's looking underneath him too now.
Well, the 2 tires not doing too bad for Anthony right now.
No, not too bad. You know, it seems to be working out better for him than the old tires of Eric Arnold.
So far, so good. Nelson Rivera. Man, and he's trying to work over Eric Arnold, too.
Yeah, he's just, you know, keep staying out on those old tires. I just don't, that just wasn't the way to go. I mean, you know, he's still in the top 10. He's still, you know, holding his own, but he's losing. He's going to be losing spots fast here, even faster. I don't know if he's going to be able to stay in the top 10, talking about Eric Arnold there.
Yeah, you know, I knew what he was trying to do, but you know, sometimes you gamble, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Yeah, definitely. right now those top 5 kind of spread out. Josh Parker got one heck of a lead on Chad Cole. Jonathan Goodell's in 3rd. Got Anthony DeBarro right there with Nick Cohan chasing behind him. That rounds out the top 5.
It does. As Nick Cohan here still got that dash for cash sitting in 5th. Watching this battle back here, Joey Katina, Greg Evans.
Oh, we got a wreck right there. Oh, a lot of cars.
Wow.
Greg Evans in it.
We just saw that live. We were just sitting there watching that one. So let's go back on the
Good
replay
timing.
here. And
14
watch it again. Yeah,
12 to
14.
66 to 43.
Of,
Bunch of cars.
Okay. It actually started in front of them. Let's go back one more time here. It actually looks like it started with Doug Roth. No, Doug Roth, he was fine. Who's in front of him right there? Looks like 20. Starting in front of him right there.
It looks like it started right by Eric Arnold.
Justin Fuller.
Justin Fuller and Eric Arnold.
Wow, yeah. And then next thing you know, boom.
Just pile up, track blocked. Guys got nowhere to go. Tore up a lot of good cars there.
Yes, it did. Justin Fuller, man, I tell you what, yeah, that's his product. He came up and then 31 there. Eric Arnold, nowhere to go.
Yeah, he's had a rough night, Justin. He's had an up and down night, starting off with the pole. Had a good, led a lot of laps there in the beginning and got marred further in the back with some incident. Then, worked his way back up, and now this happens. He's definitely had an up and down night.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, I noticed some of the top guys.
Look like
now I got a question.
Josh Parker and Johnny Goodell stayed out.
I got a question. Yeah, a question why they would stay out after seeing Greg Evans, because now you've got Eric Arnold who is sitting. He's in pit road. You're going to have Chad Cole, Anthony DeBarro, Thomas George, all those guys on 4 tires going against Josh Parker, Jonathan, Nick Cohan, Greg Evans, and them up front. And Nelson Rivera, we questioned Eric Arnold's decision. Now,
Well, this is a couple more cars. Before it was just Eric by himself. So here, Josh Parker, John, and Nick, all 3 of those guys. So I don't know. It's going to make for an interesting finish here, though, as we wrap this race
and
up.
the problem this time is easy. They understand that laps are winding down. It's go time. More urgency might be involved here. I just still would probably I still rather would have the tires. I mean, no, again, it's a gamble.
Track position.
Yeah.
Track position or tires. It is a gamble because what track position you might have lost going down pit road, you might not gain back with the new tires or vice versa. So it's a gamble. I mean, that's a part of it. That's you got to make those decisions on the fly.
Whew. Yeah, I mean they can make it all the way, either way on tires. They can go, and fuel.
Fuel's not an issue. It's more of just tire wear, old tires versus new tires, and whether we're gonna have more yellows here in these last 30 laps.
Oh, I think I could probably put a count bet that would probably have some more yellows reports.
Yeah, I'd take that bet.
I don't think we're done totally, but here we go. Lights off on the pace car. It has been a good thriller here at Bristol so far. Well, we're going to see if these top 4 guys can do anything. As Chad Cole's going to be the first man, he's got that high line too, so that's a good in his favor.
Yeah, it
just
is.
Doesn't get pinned up too much. Well, pace car's in. Here we go. Green flag, and there's what you didn't want. Dan Cadell. I'm not
tire
saying
spin.
it.
Tire spin by the leader,
what
maybe?
you
I don't
didn't
know.
want it. Yep, that's what it was. Exactly what you just said. That you had to worry about. Tire spinning, and Jonathan Goodell, here's the problem.
No caution.
Spun, hit the wall, no caution. You're 100% right. That is going to kill him because, man, you were just talking about points. Points. And Nick Timms is in 19th spot. Now, he's only a lap down, The furthest I think, though, that Cadell could fall, let's say he's out of the race, is maybe 27th.
Well, he's already 2 laps down, Cadell, right now. Nick Thames is already ahead of him on the track just because of that. So he did get the bonus points earlier, so yeah, we'll have to check that out after the race.
Yeah, it's just that, you know what, this is just what we go back to what we were talking about. Tires. Was it worth the gamble? And obviously, if we ask Josh Parker, he'll be like, heck yeah. If we ask Cadell, no. You know, we're going to get 2 different answers there either way. It's a gamble. That's basically what it is. And right now, it's paying off for Josh Parker.
Yeah, it's just, you know, with those old tires, there's always a chance of tire spin or, you know, guys missing a gear. They were really close together when they had the restart. They were door to door. A piece of paper could separate those two, and, you know, just a little bit of wiggle by Josh hit Jonathan Cadell. And, man, that's really, like, man, maybe we should not talk about Jonathan anymore. Oh, we got more contact there. It looked like the number 5, and Nick Cohan, our points leader.
Oh, and Anthony, Nick Cohan. Now, you know who's jumping up and down over that one? Eric Arnold.
Yeah, definitely. He's loving that right there.
So that's $25 right there between them, you know, folks. So that's a lot of, and right there, basically, that was Anthony DeBarro just went in and got loose and then was up top. And basically, Nick Cohan just nowhere to go. Eric Arnold did make it through that. Now, Nick Cohan did not fall all the way back. He was able to kept going. Hopefully, it didn't tear up the car too much or anything. It didn't look like it damaged it too bad there. Well, he was pushing.
The initial contact was pretty hard, but after that, looked like it was just a few little bumps here and there. So hopefully, it won't affect his car too much. We'll have to see where he lines back up here.
Whew, man, so some quick action. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be very, very surprised if Josh Parker stays out this time.
Yeah, I will be too. I'll be surprised if a lot of these guys actually stay out.
RC, I don't really think that there was any game plan on the start there. That was basically a product of they were both on old tires and spun the tires. And, you know, Josh Parker, when he spun the tires, basically looked like his car leaned on the inside. If Cadell wouldn't have been there, I got a feeling Parker's car probably would have went straight down into the inside wall. He would have lost it.
Yeah, but, you know, they're on a restart, so they're side by side like that. You know, there's really nothing that could be done about that.
Yeah, if he would have been on the inside and spun his tire, I think he would have been in. That it would have, you know. And I know nobody's going to be happy about what happened, and obviously, like what we were saying, the gamble of the tires staying out. The gamble, obviously, Josh Parker's going to be like, "Yay, it was $1 million guess." Cadell's going to be like, "You got to be kidding me!" You know, no. So it's a gamble. I mean, you know, what do you say? You know.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do. You know, on a restart, old tires. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, man. It really, really, really. It's harsh, man, to sit and say short tracks here. You know, this track all night longer has been just treacherous for these drivers, and hats off again. Everybody stayed out except for, you know, way back at E.J. O'Rourke, obviously the middle of the pack. You ain't got nothing to lose. You might as well come in and get 4 tires. Everybody up front stayed out again. Chad Cole, he's on the newest set of tires. Been out there for 15 laps. And that's probably going to pay off. Obviously, Josh Parker and Nelson Rivera, they're looking at the fact of, hey, there's probably going to be another caution. We hope it goes green, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. You know, we also got to factor in, you know, Nick Cohan did get marred back there, but the way the yellow came out and Nick was still losing spots, but the field froze when the yellow came out. So he's still up there in 4th place. He's got some damage, so we'll have to see how that affects his car, obviously, because he was in that wreck, and maybe hopefully his tires didn't get too scuffed. So, I mean, he actually got pretty lucky by when the caution came out, even though he was involved in that.
Well, he's going to be still sitting, like you said, right there in the 3rd place spot. Fourth place. Is it 3rd, 4th?
Right. No, 4th.
Okay. Well, he's on the outside either way. Pace car's in. We're going back green. Now, I'm gonna tell you what, Josh
Oh,
Parker.
another tire spin.
Wow.
Oh, and Chad Cole gets
Nelson
taken out that
Rivera,
time.
yeah. Now we got a caution, and we saw that one live as it happened. But let's watch it again, just for all the folks, just to show you what can happen. Watch Josh Parker on the same amount of tires as the 22, but the 22, and we just talked about it. If that would have been the restart earlier, that's what would have happened to Josh Parker right there. He would have spun right on around, I believe, if it wouldn't have been for Goodell being on the inside of him. But just what you just saw right there. Bad thing is, Chad Cole on the newer set of tires, nowhere to go in that one, and boom. Wow.
Another one of our point championship drivers. He's, Chad Cole is in second place in the points, and wow.
I appreciate it, RC, man. That's awesome, man. I tell you what, man. As always, we enjoy doing this. It's been a great race here tonight for the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. Been a very good race. I mean, typical Bristol. Right now, what you're seeing is basically typical old tires, and I don't really care what kind of skill you got, or if you think, I mean, heck, even the pros out there, real NASCAR, have trouble on, ice skates with a lot of power like this. You're trying to get that power to the ground, it's a tough one.
Yeah, on old tires, these guys have to kind of finesse it on these restarts, so yeah, it's a shame. And also we're closing laps here. We're getting inside of 10 laps here almost, and these guys, we're gonna go. That's the way I look at it. As Bristol, you're probably gonna have a lot of yellows at the beginning, like we did, a couple here and there, long green flags in the middle, some yellows at the end. It's just the way Bristol is.
Absolutely. But I'll tell you what, we've seen Josh Parker the last two times except for the one, get out there, but that last time he did good. I got a feeling now he is starting out and maybe in third gear. That's another way you can solve the issue of spinning the tires. Don't start in second. A lot of these guys do start in second.
Yeah, most of the time you're starting in second, just because, starting in first, it's a little too short of a gear. Second's usually where everybody starts on restarts on new tires. Old tires, it gets a little slick, so third gear is sometimes an option, but it just depends on where you are on the track too. If you're further back and you're starting when you're going to go green, if you're in the corner, third gear definitely would be an option. So it just depends on how worn your tires are.
Yeah, another guy having an awesome night tonight, Scott Stencil. I didn't really mention him, but he's up to 9th so far.
Yeah, he's had a great night. Started 33rd. We got another guy right now. Look at Doug Roth. Started 37th.
Yes. Nice.
37th in the field.
Wow. And as always, a couple things I like to point out. Obviously, the last lap puts an end to it. Usually with 5 to go, the caution comes out. That puts an end to it. And there's a good chance. There could be. Hopefully, it goes out green. But we'll see what happens on this restart here. As your top several guys, actually your top 2 guys, are on the oldest tires out on the track. But Josh Parker has been pretty good. Not perfect, but he's been pretty good on the restarts. See what Nick Cohan can do here. Just got to get a good jump here as pace car's pulling out of turn 4. I'm going to let these guys, man, go to work. It's going to be lap 190. It'll be 10 to go, and Josh Parker gets a good run. And the 22
in
there.
the back, they did.
Yeah.
There's some bumping and banging going further on in the back.
Well, the field got jacked up by, I think that was the 12 of Scott Simley.
Yeah, I believe you're right. And Josh Parker, yep. Yeah, he got a good start there. Nick Cohan's chasing him down. Thomas George is 3rd.
Boy, it's gonna be a win-win. Nick Cohan come out of here in 2nd place.
Yeah, if he comes out here in 2nd place, he's good to go. Good points night for him. I'm sure he'd love to get the win, but it's not over yet. But yeah, he's having a solid night so far.
Yeah, it'd be $25 richer.
Yeah, definitely. Tell him to go buy me a beer.
I don't drink.
Well, that's more beer for me.
There you go. I take some water.
There you go.
Yeah. And Diet Dr. Pepper.
We're closing it up. God, we got like what, 6 laps left, man.
Man, yeah, it is definitely, and it's going to go by in a hurry. It's Josh Parker. He is holding on to it, but look at Nick Cohan. He's closing in. Now you got to understand these two guys are on older tires.
We got a wreck. Got another
and a wreck
on the back
He didn't
stretch.
get by him. That one's going to be back. Looks like the 7 of
Eric
Greg
Arnold.
Evans and Eric Arnold. Ooh, hate to see that on Eric Arnold's part. He's on the wall doing his best. And Scott Stencil. My bad. He almost made it through it. Got a little contact. But actually, Greg Evans and Eric Arnold was side by side back here. And let's see. Oh, wow. Just light contact between the two. 76 is down. And then Scott Stencil almost made it, but he did a good job. Look at that. Full 360 and all the way around. Kept going.
Yeah, kept going. Kept getting it pointed in the right direction there. I think we're going to have like a one-lap shootout here.
We will. It's not over with because they didn't cross that line in time. So we're definitely going to get a shootout. And you know what that usually means. There's going to be some wild fireworks up front.
Oh, this is going to be crazy. This is going to be absolutely crazy here. Nick Cohan going for $25. I know Josh Parker wants to win. I know Thomas George wants to win. Nick Cohan, our points leader. He's already got 5 wins this season. Oh.
Now here's the thing. Nick Cohan, if he's aware of his relative, and if you're listening, Nick, I'm going to go ahead and give you an inside scoop here. Just so you'll know that you really don't have anything to lose when it comes to the $25. Mitch Rollo's out the race. Eric Arnold is 2 laps down, so go for the win. There's my advice.
Yeah, he's probably not even worried about that 25. He's not even thinking about that right now. He wants that win.
Well, I'm just saying, if he wants to say, well, I want to play it safe, don't want to get into a wreck, because he is on some tremendously old tires, so he's not going to be able to handle that car like you'd want to on new tires. But at this point, even if he went up there and wrecked and blew it up and tore it up, I mean, he's still coming out of here $25 richer.
That is true. That is true.
So really not, other than the fact of, losing some points in the race or whatever, he's still going to come out of here money.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. Always
Absolutely.
Good thing.
So if you're listening, Nick, there you go. You either just send it.
That's good advice.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna be like, "Did you hear the announcer guy? Man, he just told that guy to send it." Yeah, okay. It's not what you want to hear on our end, but hey, go ahead.
We're fans too. I want to see it.
That's right. We want to see that. Yeah. I'm not saying take the field out, but I mean, hey, I just make it exciting. And if he's got the tires that'll hold up, I think that he will. The problem is, both of those guys have been out there for 48. Now, he did try there before that caution. He did dove it to the inside. So that tells me that he will try. He's going to have, obviously 4 turns to try it. He will try it to see if he can, to see if it sticks. The problem is he doesn't want to give an opening up to Thomas George or Shane Ewing there.
Yeah. I mean, those,
Shane? Shane, right?
Shane. The
I
preferred
finally
line
got his name right. Hallelujah.
The preferred line is that high line, so we'll have to see how this works out for him.
All right, well, let's see what it is. Here we go. Josh Parker, the thing about it is he gets the jump right there on the restarts, and he did as the green flag goes. Final laps out. One more time. Can Nick Cohan maybe close the gap in here for the final time? He did send him to turn 3. Out of turn 4. He got out of it. That was a good job by him, and he held on the second. He could have spun him right there, but he didn't. That was an outstanding
finish
show
there.
of respect.
Yeah, it was. He could have drove it in there, but he definitely didn't. Josh Parker pulled off the win there, held off all those restarts, that contact and some of those restarts to pull off the win. That was a great race from Josh Parker. He started in 10th, pulls off the win there. Nick Cohan, that was a great finish there from him.
It was, man. He tried. He put it in there. He tried to go for the lead. He understood that he definitely just probably just didn't have the 100% car that he needed. Obviously, tires. Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. Tires that he needed to hold it down there and go in. But he could have. He had the opportunity to actually there for a split second, a moment, He could have moved him coming out of the turn, but you know, okay, you don't want to win that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. You know, you want to come out on top, and Nick understands what he's racing for. He understands that Josh had a good, race going there and ran a good run. So, yeah, Nick doesn't want to mar it. Second place is still a great finish for him.
Absolutely is. Well, I'll tell you what. Right now, let's bring up our third place man, because I always know Josh Parker. He always comes in here a little bit later. Let's bring up third place man Thomas George. Did an outstanding job here tonight.
We're here with our third place finisher, Steel Horse Racing's own Thomas J. George. How you feel about your run tonight, Thomas?
I wish the runs had been a little bit longer. My car wasn't good on the short run, so I just good run. I wish I could have got more. I mean, there's just you just gotta be in the right place at the right time when it comes to Bristol. Doesn't help when people play games on restarts and jack up the field and everything, but it is what it is.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of restarts there at the end. I had some contact there with some of the front runners on the starts there, and with the old tires, they seemed to be a big factor. Some guys decided to stay out on old tires. Some guys had newer tires. Was the tire wear that significant for you guys tonight?
Like I said, it was only good on the long run. Short run just didn't want to click like I thought it would. I took 2 on the last stop, and that gave me a little bit of extra grip, but I couldn't push it that hard into the corner because the bottom end was bouncing out and was making my car loose if I did that. So I just kind of had to play chess and hope that Nick got to the 23's bumper, got him loose, got himself loose, and I'd sneak by. That's about all I had. If I didn't have the damage, I would have probably been a lot faster, because we got up to third early in the run, and then some people don't like to call out cautions apparently when they're sitting in the middle of the track, and it's wonderful, but it's Bristol. I mean, you take a third, you survive, you go to Darlington, and it's one of my favorite tracks, if not my favorite, so I think we're going to run good there next week. Maybe have a shot for the win, getting a little bit closer. Just got to execute.
Yeah, definitely. Just got to keep clawing and scratching for those positions. Anybody that you want to thank tonight? Any sponsors or anybody out there might be watching?
The sponsors on the car are evident enough. Thank you, Pepsi. Thank you, Milwaukee, Valvoline. Thank you to all my Steel Horse teammates. I wish Cadell did not get caught by those restart games, because that was absolute bullcrap in my opinion. But I mean, he's trying to make the chase, and I won't go beyond anything else there. It just sucks for him. I wish hopefully he'll run well at Darlington, and we'll start running better as a team after the playoffs start.
Yeah, definitely. I understand that, man. That's our third place finisher, Thomas George. Had a good run tonight, and brings that car home in one piece. Congratulations.
All right, man.
Thanks, man.
Third place man there, Thomas George. Did an outstanding job there. Frustration a little bit, but
yeah.
I'm gonna disagree with him. No games up front. Both of them were on old tires, and Parker stayed out. Cadell stayed out. So if one played a game, the other one played a game. We'll leave it at that. Got to say that because I can tell. Can't blame one and not blame yourself. It's a gamble. We said it earlier. Second place man here, Nick Cohan.
We got our second place finisher here, Nick Cohan. He's also our points leader, and he also won $25 in the Transervice Dash for Cash tonight. How you feel about your race tonight, Nick?
I guess after all the bent fenders and hurt feelings tonight, I guess second place is all right.
Yeah, the old tires there. How much significance was that toward the end of the race? Some guys taking 2, some guys taking no tires, and then there at the end, a lot of guys out there on old tires up front.
I took 2 to try and get it to turn a little bit more and more importantly get some track position. I wasn't really sure how it would handle, but I kind of really wanted the track position, which in turn, I guess worked out because I just stayed out from there on. I felt like if we had a longer green run, I think things might have turned out a little bit differently. But after going to the back once and being hit on all corners tonight, I guess second's good enough. But I don't, I don't like finishing second. So I tried everything I could there on Parker at the end, but he was just too fast. I think I was like 2 inches from clearing him the second to last caution there, so that was really, really close. But we'll take that. Like I said, after all that, CG Automotive Toyota Camry here was fast tonight.
Yeah, that last run there on that last lap, it looked like he had a little bit of a shot to maybe get to his bumper and maybe give him a little bit of a tap, but you still had a good run there. It was a classy race, class move by you. You got anybody out there you want to thank? Any sponsors? Anybody that might be watching?
Yeah, just shout out to CG Automotive, Toyota, Target, all my teammates at Disney Motorsports, Steel Horse Racing for letting me hang out with them, and Sim500 and OSRN for putting this together.
Yeah, definitely, man. And you're $25 richer tonight too, so don't forget you got that going on too.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go spend that somewhere.
I hear you. Well, congratulations, Nick, on your second place finish, man. Still our points leader. Way to go.
Thanks, man.
That's it, man. Points leader right there. Nick Cohan did an outstanding job here tonight. I mean, he fought through the field, and he did everything he could do. Like I say, I mean, there at the end, I mean, that last one, I mean, he obviously could have, he probably could have got to the bumper there and turned him coming out of turn 4, but, class move, like you say. So, awesome race. But this man right here pulled it off. He survived up front. Josh Parker, Joe White, and Boots got a copy.
Yeah, I got you guys.
Man, I tell you, okay, me and Don up here were talking. You and Nick was on some old tires out there. How was that in the back of your psyche? Because you got to go back to the one restart. To our vantage point up here, it looks like you spun the tires, maybe Cadell spun the tires, and if it wouldn't have been that you would have been on the outside, and by spinning the tires and maybe, well, having some help from the Cadell being on the inside, that you might have just went shooting on down the track there and hit the wall. But how was those old tires affecting you there on those restarts?
Well, the Cadell thing was, I picked the high side. He has all the bottom to use. The high sides, with the advantage of having the high side is I can control how high he can run. So him trying to restart that high, he door slammed me, and that just what spun his tires. And I spun my tires, and I saw him spin my tires. I mean, heard him spin his tires, and I lifted right away, and I was able to just keep traction. After that restart, it wasn't bad at all. I didn't spin anything because I just stayed up higher and higher.
Okay, well, yeah, like I say, I mean, it's a gamble, and that's what me and we were talking about. You stay out there on old tires like that, you never know what it is, and tire spin, it is what it is. But now Nick stayed out with you. Was you a little bit worried? He got to your bumper there coming in turn 4. He probably could have did the old bump and run deal. Good show of sportsman there. Was you kind of worried when he came flying up like there on the back end of you?
To be honest, I didn't know what was in his head. I've done multiple bump and runs already in this league in a short period of time. I piss a lot of people off, so I expect anything to happen when anyone's behind me. I don't care if it's Jesus or God, like I expect them to wreck me. So I don't know when hang on, I gotta mute something here. EJ O'Rourke's big mouth, but yeah, no, I was actually really nervous, and then I gotta give him props. It was a really heads up move. When the yellow was coming out, he just dive bombed it under me and almost stole the lead. That's a lot of credit because I didn't even think about that when they were keying up in the race that they were even wrecking. So I give him props on that. But other than that, I knew I had control on the restarts, and it would have been tough for him to pass me.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. He was there now, but like I say, on the last deal, and you'll see it on the end if you go back and watch. He got to the rear bumper. Me and Don was like, man, what a move. Now, and it did surprise us in the old tires that he was able to hold it down low like that, because most of the time we've seen anybody get low like that on that old of a tires. They weren't able to. Was the track slick? Because man, it looks like a lot of you guys out there were having trouble with the rear end coming out from under it.
You know, it was really weird. The first 5 or 6 laps, it's like a go-kart, and then from lap like 6 to 10, it gets super loose off. But after that, it tightens right back up. So it was the oddest thing. But it all depends on where you're running on the track. You know, if you're running up, it really wasn't that bad. But I found myself running faster towards the middle at the end of those long green runs. And when I was trying to come off as low as I was, the back end was trying to come out a little bit. But as long as you stayed up, you were good. But it was, like I said, that was weird from lap 6 to 10 around that. No matter where you ran, you got loose.
Well, either way, you pulled it off here. You survived Bristol here tonight for the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. Under the lights, man, you got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank DraftKings. #1 DFS site out there, or app, whatever you want to use. Glad to have them on the car. All my Super Mafia buddies, thank all them. Chad Coleman, I guess I call myself a car owner for him, and he sucked today. He was like a lap down, and by lap 3. It's awful. JD for that pit call to stay out there. I was going to pit there with Nick. So, thanks. Another shout out to Jason Williams, the reason why I run number 23 here. So, good shout to him.
All right, well, tell you what, there you go, folks. Winner tonight here under the lights, Bristol, Josh Parker. As we're going to look to our unofficial results order, Josh Parker puts it in victory lane. Nick Cohan comes up in second. Thomas George third. Sean Ewing right there. Shane Ewing, excuse me. I don't know why I want to call him Sean, but Shane Ewing in fourth. Doug Ross sitting in fifth. Sean Bounty there in sixth. Dan Denayer up in the seventh. Scott Simley eighth. And Tommy Ryan ninth. And around the top 10, E.J. O'Rourke. Look through the rest of the field. Typical Bristol race. Some guys, good nights. Some, not so much.
Yeah, there was up and down, man. Shane Ewing, man, he started deep in the field to finish fourth. That was a great run for him tonight. So hats off to him. But yeah, typical Bristol racing. Hurt feelings. Some guys have hurt feelings. Some guys are happy, and we'll just move on to the next race and keep on going from there.
Well, we go from Bristol to Darlington, so if I had hurt feelings this week, gonna have probably a few more next. That's a tough track, man. The Lady in Black next week. Check it out, folks. Here, as always, for myself and Don, a Sim500. Everyone, have a good night.